I'll let you guys know who's going to be the quarterback when I'm ready to, because right now it's, again, we'll look at our situation and evaluate it as the week goes on.
That's Jets coach Rex Ryan. Do we really need to mention who that is? But that's Rex Ryan, and we're back here wrapping up the first show ever. First show of any kind to be broadcast from the new NBC Sports Studio in Stamford, Connecticut. This is PFT Live, and this is the weekly Wendy's Rapid Reaction. We put that question to you at the Sunday Night Football Facebook page. Who should the Jets start? Tim Tebow, Mark Sanchez, Greg McElroy, and there were a lot of comments. Last week we had a record with over 200 comments. This week we had over 700 comments. It's a hot button topic, and let's see what some of the folks had to say. Here is Jason Haas on the situation, Sanchez versus Tebow versus McElroy. He goes with McElroy. Why not give him a chance to prove himself? And I tend to agree with Jason Haas. Look, yeah, he was a seventh-round pick, but the guy got it done. He came in, he won the game. That's the only stat that matters. He was 5 for 7 for 29 yards, but he threw the only touchdown pass in the game against a very good Cardinals defense. The New York Jets, although it's going to be very hard to get to the postseason even if they run the table, let's see what this guy has. Maybe he's the answer. Maybe he's been the answer under your nose the entire time. Adam Nutt chimed in at the Sunday Night Football Facebook page on our Wendy's Rapid Reaction question for this week. He says McElroy. Tebow isn't a quarterback, and Sanchez has reached his peak, it seems. He reached that peak a while ago, and that's why the Jets keep sticking with Sanchez. Rookie year 2009, 5th overall pick, he took the Jets to the AFC Championship game. 2010, back to the AFC Championship game. Last year, they didn't get to the postseason, and they had that panic. They felt like they needed to have Tim Tebow there. The idea is you force defenses to get ready for the Tebow package. Then that's less time they have to get ready for Sanchez. Maybe that makes Sanchez better. Having Tebow around, the threat to bring Tebow into the game and eat into Sanchez's time, that will make Sanchez better. They want that sense of urgency. They want him to play in September, October, November like he plays in late December and in January. It hasn't worked. And that's why I continue to believe the Tebow experiment is going to be done. The only question is, will McElroy or Sanchez, both or neither, be back next year? Okay, John Bradley chiming in at the Sunday Night Football Facebook page. This is a quarterback situation that will implode on itself. Mark Sanchez did poorly, and now he might be benched for Tebow. If Tebow does poorly, he might be benched for McElroy. What happens if McElroy does not perform as well? This is a vicious circle. And it is. And this idea that you've somehow ruined Sanchez by benching him and then going back to him and keeping him as the backup. Look, I think back to Cordell Stewart in Pittsburgh. He was the hot young quarterback in the NFL in the mid to late 1990s. Remember, he was a second-round pick. He was slash in 95. They made him the quarterback after Neil O'Donnell left. He was later benched. He came back in 2001. And he had a Pro Bowl season. Now he ended up getting benched again. But just because you bench a quarterback doesn't mean you've lost the quarterback. And I think what will happen with Sanchez, Ross Tucker and I talked about this earlier, because they've got so much money tied up in Sanchez, I think they're going to keep him around. They may decide the distraction isn't worth it, but I think they're going to keep him around. $8.5 million, even if he's the backup, who knows? At some point, maybe he gets another chance and maybe he plays better than ever before. I mean, it's possible. I'm just saying it could happen. Okay, John Holland, last comment, Sunday Night Football Facebook page. He wants Tebow. He knows how to win. He may not have a strong arm, but he brings that winning attitude to the game. And we saw that last year with the Denver Broncos when they were 1-5. You can say what you want about Tim Tebow's flaws as a quarterback. Last year, he came in and took the Broncos from 1-5 to the playoffs. And we saw some of the best performances regular season. We saw that postseason performance against the Steelers. Gigantic rating, exciting game, overtime. And yes, Tim Tebow, when he throws the ball, you never quite know where it's going to land. But in that game, he threw it right into the hands of Demaryius Thomas, 80-yard catch and run. They win. So Tebow's going to get a shot somewhere. And it may only be Jacksonville. But look at Arizona. Ryan Lindley, Kevin Kolb, John Skelton. You mean to tell me Tim Tebow's not better than any of those three guys? All things considered, I don't care if he can throw a football into a trash can from 40 yards away, or through a tire at the sideshow at the carnival. What I care about is whether or not the guy can win. And he's shown he can win. It's just the way the Jets handled it is entirely wrong. And I don't know whose fingerprints are on that one, but whoever has their fingerprints on the Tim Tebow debacle should be the person who gets the blame for the failure that has become the Jets season. Even if they run the table, I don't see them getting to the postseason. But we'll see. 4 weeks left. And that means PFT Live every day of those 4 weeks. We will be back tomorrow at noon. Unfortunately, I won't be back in the swanky new studio. I'll be back in West Virginia in my usual studio, but sources close to me tell me There's going to be an effort to make the studio in West Virginia look like the studio here. We'll see how that plays out over the coming weeks. Hey, we prefer that you watch for the content, but if you want to check it out to see how the background looks, that's fine too. We'll be at NBC Sports Network, 5 o'clock Eastern Time with Ross Tucker and Sean King. He's coming up from Tampa. Pro Football Talk, NBC Sports Network. Open around the clock at profootballtalk.com. See you back here again tomorrow. Have a great day.